Mackel here with www.homebuyasblog.com, and today's video blog will be on the 3 make-or-break issues that will impact your ability to sell your home in Simi Valley. First, I want to let you know that the goal of this information is not to make you feel bad, but to arm you with the information you need to know to make the proper decision. And one of the decisions you need to come away from this with is, should you really try to sell your home at this time? If not, your options are to either rent and wait or stay where you are and wait. But if you do decide to sell your home at this time in these current market conditions, these 3 make or break issues will have a major impact on the success of your sale. And those issues are price, location, and condition. The price of your home is probably one of the most important things, because the buying population is on the internet. They're looking at incredible web tools that tell them what you paid for your house, what your neighbor paid for their house, what homes are selling for in your neighborhood, how long they've been on the market. They have enough information there where they can get a good benchmark for what's going on in the area. And if your home is overpriced, they'll pass you up because it will not fit in with the criteria of what's surrounding. Now, I know we all have done great special things to our house that the next guy who sold didn't have, and if someone comes by, maybe they'll appreciate it. Well, there is some truth to that, but all it will really do is help you get your home sold quicker. But if you expect to get a premium for your house because you've done something that the neighbor hasn't, that's not realistic with the current climate that we're having. The buyers just have too many choices right now, and they can go to the next house down the street. The next issue we need to be concerned with is the location. And if your home is locationally challenged, like if it's on a busy street, or if it backs the freeway, or if it backs the railroad track, that will have a negative impact on your ability to sell the house, and you'll definitely have to have your house priced well below surrounding homes to attract a buyer. Many of these tracts that have these issues have some areas away from the noise and the traffic, and those homes in the interior suffer a little bit too, because you have a model match on a busy street that is selling $100,000 lower than everything else in the neighborhood. The buyers look at that. Now, it doesn't mean that your house is worth $100,000 less, or that it's worth the same as a house, say, that's on either Cochran or Fitzgerald or on Tapo Canyon or on one of the other busy streets in town. But it definitely is an impact. It's there, and people see that. The next thing we have to be concerned with is the condition of your home, and this is where we really have to be realistic about what we've done to our homes and what condition it's in. One of the biggest issues I run across with in this area is I'll be sitting with a potential seller, and they'll tell me about their brand new air conditioner, and they'll say, yeah, I got new air conditioning, and I've done this, that, and the other thing. And I say, well, when did you install the air conditioner? And they'll say, well, just after the earthquake in 1994, we went out and got a new air conditioner and a new water heater. The problem with that is that that's 14 years ago. And I cannot put in any of the marketing flyers new air conditioner or new water heater that's 14 years old. Also, the other thing with an air conditioning and heating system that's 14 years old, it's very far behind in energy efficiency standards. So it actually is a pretty expensive unit to be running and operating, and it becomes more, it would be more a negative before it's a positive. And people will definitely not accept that as being placed as new. Along the same lines, if your upgrades were done just after the Northridge earthquake, those upgrades are not comparable to the upgrades that were just done in the last 2 to 3 years. Decorator designer taste has completely changed since the middle 90s. Our buyer population has been walking through model homes up in Long Canyon, Big Sky, Wild Horse Canyon. There's new materials, new colors, all kinds of new techniques that are far more attractive than what was done 15 years ago. So buyers are very cognizant of this, and we need to be realistic and reasonable about how we approach what we've done to our homes. The other simple thing is in the last few years, people have replaced all the windows in their home. They put on new roofs. They've replaced driveways. They've remodeled kitchens and bathrooms and scraped the cottage cheese popcorn texture off the ceilings. And these are considered big upgrades. A window upgrade is very expensive. In fact, a home that has completely new windows is going to be far more attractive over a house that doesn't have the windows but has some other items, because the windows increase the energy efficiency and the electric bills are lower on a house like that to a buyer. So again, we need to be reasonable when we say that I've upgraded or I've done this or I've done that. I'm a homeowner too. I have a property that I've highly upgraded and decided to rent instead of sell because I couldn't get my price, and I know how hard it is to be put in that position. The last thing I want to talk about is kind of an analogy between selling your house and selling a car. And what's really interesting is I know people who decide to sell their car by private party, and the first thing they do is they take the car down and spend $200 to have the car completely detailed. The carpets will be shampooed, the seats will be cleaned, they'll get a toothbrush and clean out every little crack, and polish the outside and get that car ready to get it attractive to buyers and sold. And people remove all their knickknacks out of there and make that thing look like it was on the lot ready to go. Well, we need to treat our house in the same way, and think of it this way. If you're going to resell your car for $10,000 and you're willing to spend $200 on a car detail job, that's 2% of the total sales price. Well, our homes are a far bigger investment. You know, a $650,000 house, and if you have a $650 cost for a home stager, and home stagers run, you know, anywhere from $500 up to $1,000 depending on what they do. I mean, that's 0.1% of the total sales cost of the house. And I know people who are more than willing to spend the money on their car, but have a very difficult time when they're asked to bring in a stager to come really help them get that house polished up, organized, and in order to get it sold. So really kind of think about that. We want to make these houses as attractive to buyers as we can. When they come in, make them appealing. Small things like a stager really help. Understanding the pricing helps even more. And taking care of these issues ahead of time can save a lot of headache. As always, if you agree or disagree with anything I say, this is a blog, and you can post your comments down there, and I will not censor them except for language and inappropriate discussion like that. But outside of that, give me your opinions. I'd love to hear them, and we can all learn from one another. And thanks for stopping by.